In May of 2008, a film crew was shadowing police and expected to see a routine call on the M6 Motorway in the UK. Instead, the crew of the reality show Motorway Cops was stunned by the bizarre situation that would play out before their cameras when they arrived to see two women, Sabina and Ursula Eriksson, dashing into oncoming traffic.
Without any warning, one of the women breaks away from the officer into the traffic and is hit by a lorry. Then her sister also runs out.
The Swedish twins had reunited only hours before the strange event. Ursula, who had been living in the USA, decided to visit her twin sister Sabina in County Cork, Ireland. Within 24 hours of her arrival, the two took a ferry to Liverpool. Upon arriving in the English port city, the twins paid a visit to St Anne Street police station to report concerns over Sabina's children, whom she had left with her partner back in Ireland. Not long after the twins boarded the coach to London, Ursula and Sabina began acting strangely. Reportedly, the twins had refused to check their bags and became enraged when the bus staff attempted to take them from them. The bus stopped at a service station on the M6 in Staffordshire, and the bus staff had become concerned about their behaviour and kicked the twins off the bus. Sabina and Ursula, now stranded, started walking the M6 motorway. The road is not designed for pedestrians, and concerned motorists began to notify the police. CCTV cameras captured images of Sabina and Ursula creeping into frame, hopping over the guardrail and running into the road, without hesitation. The twins caused panic and chaos as cars attempted to swerve out of their way. However, the sisters were unable to escape the cars. Police and paramedics soon came. As they assessed the situation, it became progressively worse. As the police stood with the twins at the side of the road, Ursula suddenly dashed back into the traffic as an officer tried his best to stop her. She managed to get out of his grip and was struck by a truck. She suffered serious leg injuries. Seconds later, Sabina followed in her sister's footsteps and darted out into the traffic too. Her body slammed into an oncoming car, sending her up into the air before smashing back down onto the ground. The sound of screeching tyres and screams rang in the wind as Sabina got right back up and jumped back into the traffic. Surprisingly, both twins survived the incident and were taken to a hospital for treatment and evaluation, but not without putting up a fight. The duo fought police and paramedics, insisting someone was trying to take their organs. Doctors couldn't explain why the twins persistently ran into oncoming traffic, but some believe Sabina and Ursula had experienced a shared psychosis. The psychological disorder begins in the mind of one individual whose delusions are transmitted into the other person. Following the shared psychotic episode, Ursula was hospitalised in a mental facility for 3 months. But just days after her arrest on May 17, 2008, Sabina was released by authorities. As she wandered the streets of Stoke-on-Trent, she encountered a Good Samaritan who attempted to assist the visibly troubled woman. Glenn Hollinshead, a 54-year-old licensed paramedic, invited Sabina into his home for the evening. Back at Mr. Hollinshead's home, where his friend Peter Malloy was also visiting, Eriksson's behaviour became increasingly bizarre. She offered the men cigarettes, but quickly snatched them from their mouths, claiming that they were poisoned, and she routinely peered out of the window as though on the lookout for someone. Malloy left his friend and his guest late that evening. The next day, Sabina, in a fit of unexplained rage, stabbed Hollinshead 5 times with a butcher's knife, killing him. The mentally unfit woman fled the scene with a hammer and began striking herself in the head with it. Paramedics chased Sabina down the streets and watched in horror as she leapt from a bridge. Miraculously, she survived the fall and was hospitalised. Immediately following her hospitalisation, she was charged with murder. She was sentenced to 5 years in prison. Hollinshead's brother, Gary, blamed police for failing his brother by releasing Sabina out into society so quickly. He told the media, "Her mental condition should have been properly assessed after what she did on the motorway and the experiences the police had. Her mental disorder should have been picked up prior to her being let out into the community." To this day, nobody really knows what happened to set off the bizarre chain of events for the Eriksson sisters. When asked for a possible explanation, Detective Superintendent Dave Garrett had this to say: "The reasons for the two events may never be truly known or understood, but the taking of Glenn's life was a violent and senseless act." Thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel to keep up to date with my weekly videos. See you next time.